And yeah, evidently the theme for the first part of the year is organising.
Organising for success.
Yeah, so Louise said to me, how can we use LinkedIn to organise for success? And I said, well, yeah, there's some great stuff we can do to help you organise your LinkedIn profile and leverage it in your business. So that's what we're going to do this morning. So as Stu said, I run the Guildford Hub. My LinkedIn and coaching business is called Link Business. I help small business owners grow and develop their businesses through online marketing, social networking, and all that sort of thing. Now, why am I eligible to stand up here and talk to you about LinkedIn? Well, I ran a consultancy company called Arrow Management. Now, prior to that, I'd run another little consultancy with a friend, a former colleague, when we both got made redundant back in 2003, called Transformers Consulting, and we had no business experience at all. We would both come straight out of corporate, great project managers, and of course, we thought everybody's going to buy our services because we're great project managers. Yeah, and a bit like Kevin Costner, Field of Dreams, yeah, build it and they come. No, they don't. It doesn't work like that. So we went through the typical roller coaster ride of any new business that doesn't have any experience. How do we get a client? How do we get, oh, well, God, we need to get a client. We've got to get a client. We've got a client. Right, let's service that client. Oh, that great piece of work. Now, oh, where's the next client? Oh, God. You know, so it was like that. Oh, it was a real roller coaster. Let's get through the financial crisis in that roller coaster. But then my business partner said he was getting a bit sick of the roller coaster. So he jumped ship and became life safety manager for Merrill Lynch Bank of America. Couldn't get much safer, except that 7 years later you got made redundant again, but never mind. So when that ended, we closed that business down. I thought, right, I'm going to start a new business as my consultancy, and I'm going to learn how to market myself business properly. So I joined various mastermind groups, various entrepreneurs groups like the Entrepreneurs Circle and things like that. But one of the first things I did was I recognised that my target market were very much into LinkedIn. There were so many groups and people on LinkedIn all around project and program management and program offices that it was my ideal target market. So I immediately taught myself how to use LinkedIn properly and really got to grips with that. And using things like lead magnets and books and stuff like that, and online marketing through Aweber to start with, and then Infusionsoft later on, really grew my list, grew my reputation, and was able to build that business into a six-figure income business for the next 6.5 years. I really know how to use LinkedIn and make it effective. That's why I think I'm qualified sort of thing to stand up here and talk to you about LinkedIn. Right, so let's start with an analogy. You put your house up for sale. What do you do when you put your house up for sale? What's the sort of things you do? Tidy it up. Yeah. You declutter. Yeah, you declutter your house. Yes. What else do you do?
Speak to an estate agent.
Ooh. Yeah, I've got that one up there. There are some things you just don't do. Well, you do, but yeah. So you do things like freshen things up. Yeah. You want to present your house in the nicest possible way. So you freshen it up. You've decluttered it. You've got rid of all the rubbish, and because you've moved out some of the furniture, you find that bit of the walls are different colours to the bit that's above where the furniture was. So you better give that a quick lick of paint. So you freshen it up a bit. And then you get all the information you can about your bills and what your rates are. You know, did you get a radon survey? Did you get a flood risk survey done? You get all of that stuff together. So when the buyer comes around, you can say, "Oh yeah, this is a great house. Here's all the information. It's a really lovely place to live." And you get a current photo. Yeah, you can't sell your house from the brochure from when it was built, unless you only bought it a couple of years ago, maybe. You need to have a current photograph, yeah? And then what you really want to do is you want to show it to the buyer, how the buyer can really make a lovely home for them. You really want to present it to the buyer as if this is the best thing since sliced bread, but you've got a really good reason for moving on because you've got the next loaf over there, yeah? So that's what you do with your house. How many people have done it with their LinkedIn profile? Huh? A little bit, yeah. Most people haven't. Yeah, most people created a LinkedIn profile, and when you set up a LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn are very, very helpful. They take you through all the steps. They say, where did you go to school? Where do you work? Who are your friends? Yeah, and they take you through building your profile. But the way they do that, it's targeted at their target market. Who's LinkedIn's target market? Jobs, recruiters. Yeah, their biggest revenue source is recruitment firms paying for advertising and their professional versions of LinkedIn to be able to find and recruit people for their clients. So they want your LinkedIn profile to look just like an embellished CV. Yeah, that's great for you as business owners because those embellished CVs are keyword rich. They are oozing all the sorts of things you need to try and find them to sell to them. Yeah, but they're rubbish in terms of selling you as a business and what you can do for your potential clients. So let's have a look at a couple of myths. Anyone heard of the all-star rating on LinkedIn? Anyone got an all-star rating on LinkedIn? Quite a few people have. It's on your dashboard. If you go to your LinkedIn profile and you look at your dashboard, it'll tell you, you'll either get a percentage mark there or it'll say all-star. And one of the biggest things I had from people is say to me, I've got an all-star LinkedIn profile and I get nothing from it whatsoever. So LinkedIn's rubbish. Well, it's not, because the all-star, it doesn't mean you've got a great profile, because the all-star rating is based on quantity, not quality. Yeah, you'll get an all-star rating because you filled in the right number of boxes. Yeah, if you filled in 80% of the boxes on LinkedIn, you'll be an all-star rated. Yeah, yeah.
Can I ask you, are we talking about premium paid or are we
No,
talking
that's
about bog standard?
bog standard. Everything I talk to you about today is all about bog standard free LinkedIn. Okay, we can talk about premium a little bit later. It's based on quantity, not quality. Now, most of you have probably know of Vanessa one day. Yeah, well, I did a webinar for her, with her for her connections, and we were talking about this all-star rating thing. She said, "Yeah," she said, "Husband Steve's not got an all-star profile. What do we need to do to get him an all-star profile?" So we went onto his profile, and a recommendation from LinkedIn was he doesn't have a current job title. So she made him a director of her current company. And that boosted him from not having an all-star profile to having an all-star profile. What rubbish is that? Yeah, it is complete bunkum, complete bunkum. So don't get sucked into the all-star myth. It's a load of rubbish. So that's that exploded. Myth 2, you can't make money out of LinkedIn. Well, you can make money out of LinkedIn. I did. I used it to grow a business to 6 figures. Yeah, you can make money out of LinkedIn, but there are some provisos. One is your prospects must be on LinkedIn. Yeah, it's the same with any other social media network, any other marketing tool you use. If your customers are not there, you're screaming at an empty room. Yeah, so if you're a vet, don't use LinkedIn because vets don't go on LinkedIn. If you're German, don't really go on LinkedIn because they've got their own version that's separate. Germans don't tend to use LinkedIn very much. But for most business to business, LinkedIn should be your primary source of marketing. You need to be business to business. If you're business to consumer, you won't make money out of LinkedIn, but you should still use LinkedIn to demonstrate and prove your expert authority in your field. Because if you can get your customers to give you recommendations on there, and you can work and do stuff in groups within LinkedIn that are about your field, you can use that to demonstrate that you are the best thing since sliced bread in your area, in your field. So that's what to do if you're a B2C business. But if you're B2B, it's definitely the source, the best source of potential clients for you. So that's that myth exploded. Myth number 3, it's just for keeping in touch. All these lovely people you've met over the years, LinkedIn says, oh, you should keep in touch with everybody. And that's great, absolutely great. But why is that good for you? Well, LinkedIn encourages you to do it. It encourages you to connect with your school friends, your university friends, and your former colleagues. The important one, your former colleagues. So if all of your customers are on LinkedIn, you should be connected to them. Because if you're connected to one of your customers, who do you think your customers are connected to? other people they've worked with in the same industry, other people they've done things with in the same industry. And if you've done good work for your customers and they give you a recommendation, they can introduce you to their former colleagues in different businesses, and they could become your next best client. It's really, really simple, because they all collect on there. They all share information, and it's a great way of getting new customers. Their connections could be your next best customer. So that's that myth blown up and got out of the way. Right, now, how do you organise your profile? How is your profile organised? It's organised to get a job. We've already talked about this effectively. Recruitment is LinkedIn's biggest revenue source, and it encourages you to build your profile as a CV, but that is great because it's great for searching. So you can find your target market on there. Now, what steps do we need to go through to declutter your profile and get it into a state where you can be organised and start leveraging your profile to really grow your business? The declutter. Edit down your past roles. Yeah. If you've got a corporate background and then you've moved into a new small business, all of your history will be on LinkedIn, but most of it won't be particularly relevant to your current role that you're doing. Yeah, there's not much in my corporate life around project and program management that is directly relevant to me running the Guildford Hub. Yeah, but what I do is I pick out the key points that are relevant, and I make sure that they're in my LinkedIn profile under the hub, so that I can draw on those. But the rest of it, people don't want to read anymore, so get rid of it, declutter it, make it simpler, make it easy for people to digest what you do for them. Yeah, because this is all. Doesn't matter if it's not much there. Just make sure what's there is relevant. Don't get rid of roles completely, because you never know who you worked with there that might suddenly become a connection and might actually need your services now. So don't get rid of roles. Do cut them down so that they are relevant to what you do now and highlight the transferable skills that you bring from that previous role. Remove irrelevant articles. If you wrote loads of articles about your previous corporate role, your previous corporate existence, if they're not relevant to the current thing that you're doing, perhaps archive them, take them off. Don't throw them away, keep them, because you never know, you might go back to it some stage in the future. There's always something you can draw out of those. But declutter it a bit, make it look a bit more fresh, a bit more relevant to your target market. So freshen things up. Now, what does that mean? Well, lots of people create their LinkedIn profile and they say, right, job done, move on. And they connect with a few people and that's it. They don't actually start and they don't maintain their profile. They don't keep it fresh. They don't keep it current. So you really need to do things like make sure you've got a relevant current banner image up there. Yeah, don't have just the stars thing, connections that LinkedIn give you. Have a relevant banner image up there that reinforces what you do in your business and for your clients. Add an article or two as you go along. Make sure you put an article out every now and then to keep it fresh, keep it going. Yeah. Once a month, a couple of times a month. Depends on how active your market is on LinkedIn. Certainly you want to try and put something out every month at least. And do some status updates. It's a bit like Facebook. You can use it a bit like Facebook. Don't be as frequent and as personal as on Facebook. Yeah, nobody on LinkedIn wants to know what you had for breakfast. Yeah, keep it professional, but do make sure you actually keep things fresh and alive so that people can see you're active. Because the more active you are, the more engaged people will become with you.
Can I add a little bit of sort of context to that? When you're trying to position your website on a search engine, the Google algorithm now looks at what's called your EAT, your expertise, authority and trust. And unless they can find great reasons why your website is to be trusted, then you're going to find it really hard to rank, or harder to rank. And putting articles on LinkedIn and getting engagement there demonstrates your expertise and your authority.
Absolutely.
And as people interact with it and share it and it spreads around the internet, if you can encourage that, you build your trust. And Google sees them as citations, things that are mentioning your company, and go, oh, okay, yeah, their expertise is demonstrated.
If you're active on LinkedIn and you Google either yourself or your business, your LinkedIn profile should come up pretty near the top of the listing that comes back. If it doesn't, then you're not active enough. Yeah. And you want your LinkedIn profile coming up there, and you want people to click through to your LinkedIn profile, and you want your LinkedIn profile to scream how good you are at doing what you do for your customers. Yeah? So it's really important that you really do freshen things up on a regular basis. Yeah? It's not like selling your house. You're going to sell it and move and then leave it for 12 years or whatever. You've got to freshen this up on a regular basis. Step 3, update your info. Now, you've all sorts of opportunities for your profile name. You can edit that profile. When you sign up for LinkedIn, you'll get linkedin.com/in/ and part of your name and a whole bunch of random characters to give you a unique LinkedIn name. But you can claim that, you can edit it, and you can claim your own name if it hasn't already gone. If it's gone, then you have to come up with some innovative way of perhaps tweaking your name, put a hyphen in it or an underscore or something between your first and second name, whatever. But you can claim it so that it's easier for people to type in you and find you on LinkedIn. So that's really, really useful. You've got the opportunity of having 3 websites there, or web addresses. So you might have your core website, but you might have a special offers page. You might have a particular landing page where you want to take them to consume one of your lead magnets. So you use the three website opportunities you have there and name them yourself. Don't let LinkedIn just put company website, personal website, or whatever. Use the other category, and that way you can name them yourself. Make sure you have a contact phone number and a contact email there. Put your Twitter handles on there. And if you've got instant messenger, put that on there as well. Make it easy for people to find you. It's an article I wrote some time ago, back in 2015. It's still one of my most popular articles. People hide on LinkedIn. Now, if you go to a networking meeting, unless you're of a certain religious persuasion and very strict about it, you don't go in with your face covered and hiding. Yeah? You go in there, you want to meet people, you want to look them in the eye and shake hands. Well, why don't you do that on LinkedIn? Be open, be engaging. It's online networking. Use the tools you've got available to you there to actually create that right impression and make that connection with people. And you must have a great recent photo, yeah? You wouldn't sell your house with an old photograph of it falling apart or that really misrepresents it, yeah? You've got to have a great photo. So that is what you get if you don't put a photo up. Yeah, that's a no-no. Blank is bad. Definitely don't do that. So blank is bad. An image that tries to depict what you do is also bad. LinkedIn is about you. It's a personal networking site, professional personal networking site. Yeah? They don't want to buy your product. They want to buy you. People buy from people. Yeah? So that's bad as well. We don't want that. Who is that? Yeah, great holiday snap, if you know who it is. I had a client who did a lot of cycling for charity. So his LinkedIn profile picture was him with his bike, in his lycra, with his cycling helmet on and a pair of sunglasses. Unless you knew him and knew the charities he cycled for, you wouldn't know it was him at all. So I said, well, who's your target market? He said, well, I want to get into the larger offices of national companies that are local to where I live and get them to buy print and design from me locally rather than buying it on a national contract. So I said, okay, so when you turn up and put you up on LinkedIn, are they going to know? Oh.
Up on his bike, maybe.
Yeah. I would suggest that, meeting a purchasing manager in lycra is. Oh dear. Yeah. No. So no. That's who is that? It's not you. You don't know who it is. Is the photograph appropriate? Lovely photograph, attractive woman, but unless you're selling, I question whether that's relevant. Off your dating site. So, make sure it's appropriate. So there's my photograph from when I redid my profile, when I relaunched my company. Everything was a bit shirt and tie then, so it's a bit formal. So it's okay. You probably still recognise me from it, just about. So it's okay. But you really need to keep it up to date. So that's my current LinkedIn profile photo. So I think you recognise me definitely from that. And if I come to a meeting with you, chances are, perhaps not in the winter when it's a bit colder and I've got a sweater on, in the summer I'll have my blazer on or my jacket on, and that's how I'll look when I turn up at the meeting. And then showcase yourself, yeah? People buy from people, they want to buy from you, but only if you can showcase yourself. So, you've got your great photograph, you've got an updated banner image, you need a great headline, yeah? You need a headline that tells your customers what they're going to get from you, yeah? If you don't do anything, LinkedIn will take your most recent work experience and take the job title from it. So if you've put owner of XYZ company or director or CEO, that's what it will put in your headline, which doesn't tell your clients anything. Okay? Something like this is much better. Owner of a virtual marketing and support agency, managing specialist tasks, enabling business owners to focus on the rest. You know what you're going to get from this lady? She runs one of the biggest VA agencies in the country, Get Ahead VA. Rebecca Newnham. Her clients know what they're going to get from reading her, just a headline and her LinkedIn profile. Yeah? This one, so that's good. This one's even better. Google Whisperer. Sounds intriguing. What's that mean? Delivering sustainable rankings and AdWords performance. Now, if you're not into Google search engine and you're not into pay-per-click advertising, this won't mean a lot to you. But he doesn't care because you're not his target market. His target market understand that headline straight away, and they like the Google bit of intrigue, and they like the stars as well because it makes it stand out. Yeah. So he gets a lot of interest purely because of that headline in his target market. Yeah. In fact, the Google Whisperer bit came from one of his clients. They nicknamed him the Google Whisperer.
Is it also because it's like crisp?
Yeah.
You've got unnecessary words.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Clear, succinct,
yeah.
what you give to your customers. Yeah, it's all about what your clients are going to get from you.
Ogilvy, when he was starting out, he tested length of headline and found that between 7 and 14 words was pretty much the sweet spot.
Yeah.
And John Caples did some work on that. He's
Yeah.
a fantastic copywriter.
Yeah.
He found something similar. Just to
Yeah. You've got 120 characters to play with, but yeah, keep it succinct and relevant to what you deliver for your clients. So that's a good one. And you also need a powerful summary. Yeah. I see a lot of summaries that start. We've been in business for 25 years. So what? Yeah. I don't want something that's 25 years old. I want current advice. I want current services. Yeah. What you need to do with your summary is identify with the client's pain, the client's desires, the client's problems that you're going to fix for them. Yeah? And you really need a fairly high impact first couple of lines, because the first couple of lines is all you see when you go to somebody's profile these days. You don't see the whole summary, you have to click. So you've got to have a high impact couple of lines that really connects with your audience so that they then click on the get more, see more, so that they can then read the rest of the summary. And you, in that summary, you talk about their pain, then you talk about how you've solved those very same problems for your existing clients, and then you refer to that in there and explain how you can work with them. And that way, that induces them to actually think, oh, I'll connect with this person. I really want to connect and engage with them. So lots of what's in it for me, i.e. the reader, not you, the reader. It's all about, your profile is no longer about you, it's about what you do for your clients. It has to be client focused, just like any of your other marketing. It talks to the pain and desires, it talks about what you bring to the table and demonstrates your expertise and how you can help them. High impact first few lines to make sure that you get them, you induce them to actually read the rest, because there's something interesting, there's something of value there. Right, so getting organised summary, decluttered, we've freshened up things a bit, we've updated our contact info, we've got a great new professional photo, and if anyone needs a professional photo, Matt Birch from Farnham Hub, he's he's now Borden, is he?
Borden,
Oh, right, I thought he was
defected.
Still... He defected. Ah, right, okay. Where the friggin' hell is he then? Because I always plug his services when I'm talking down here. He will do you a great photograph. He did mine.
That's all mine.
Yeah,
Which is great.
Yeah, absolutely great. And we've gotten grab the attention with our headline and that first impression, the whole thing of the banner, the photograph, the headline, the first few lines of the summary. You've created that first impression, that all-important first impression, and induced the person to say, yes, I'm going to connect with you because I think you can actually add value to my business. I can get something of value from you. Yeah, it's really important that you create that first impression. Now, once you've got that profile, you want to then leverage it. Yeah? You want to start using it to get business. So, connections are vanity. Engagement is sanity. And leads are king. That's my social media mantra.
He uses
Yeah?
it all the time.
Does he? Cribbed it from me. And I cribbed it for an accountant. Yeah, because the accountants say turnover is vanity, profit is sanity, cash flow is king. Well, that's the social media equivalent of that. Yeah. So if you have a load of connections, great. But if you're not engaged with them, they're never going to be any use to you. And you won't be able to turn them into leads unless you engage. So that's really, really fundamental. So when we're leveraging a profile, bear all of that in mind. So start to post status updates. Just as you can post articles, you can post status updates like you do for Facebook or anywhere else for that matter. So if you've written a blog post or you're running an event or whatever you're doing, put a status update on there. Yeah.
I'm a new member of the Borden Hub.
Status update. Whoa. Yeah. That shows a number of things, right? It shows you are investing in yourself and personal development. It tells you're active on LinkedIn and keeping people up to date with what you're doing. It promotes the hub as well. So yeah, it just is good all round for everybody. It's a fantastic thing to do. You know, it's just like Facebook. If you use @mention in your status updates, you know, @Stu Morrison or @Borden Hub, you can link just like you can in Facebook now and get their names so people can click through and find the people you're mentioning in your status updates. You can use images and videos in those status updates just as you can on Facebook. You can put links in there. And you can set who it goes to, either public or public plus. I thought you didn't change it on the. I changed it on mine. You didn't change it on there. You spotted the typo, told me about it, so I changed it. But then I've used the copy I sent him. He hasn't changed. Yeah, so it's a new social. It's a new social media tool called Yitter.
Welsh.
Yes.
When we do the Q&A,
Yeah.
may I ask you about this bit? Because I want to go through my LinkedIn account,
Yeah.
freshen it up. I used it a lot. I made money out of it.
Yeah.
It was good for me. I used to do workshops on LinkedIn.
Yep.
Because I took a deliberate hiatus and I'm returning, I've been really strategic. I've waited for this session so that I can then plan.
Right. Yeah.
So I would want later on when we do Q&A some advice about how to make a post update that incorporates the fact I've taken that hiatus and I'm coming back
Yep.
without it sounding weak.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to talk to you
Yeah.
about that because you know it is going to be a big length of time since I was on here regularly.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to seem jarring, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
Yep.
I don't, you know, it's a very.
Will you be talking to the same? Oh, your connections won't have changed as such, but are your connections you've already got the same audience as you want now?
In my 26 seconds, and I said I've got lots of other things. There's a very, very specific sector of my life I want to develop with
Right.
LinkedIn, and
Okay.
this matches it still.
Right.
So I am on LinkedIn if you want to have a look, Shirley Olsen. So I believe it does. I just need to update.
Right.
it.
Yeah. Okay. We can cover that off if we don't get a chance there. There was an opportunity to cover it off at another time. Right. Where are we? Yes. Okay. So post a status update. Post a Pulse article. We talked about articles before. Pulse articles are like writing blog posts but on LinkedIn. You can use, it's just like a blog post, add images and video again. Each post has a unique URL. In fact, all of your LinkedIn stuff now has unique URLs. So you can actually share your LinkedIn stuff on other social media using those URLs and drive people towards your LinkedIn profile. And you see your current articles, your most recent articles and activity there on your, people see that on your profile when they go and look at your profile.
If you're tempted to go to your website and cut and paste a blog post,
Don't
do that.
No.
No, it's better to write a maybe revised summary and then link to the original article if it's quite lengthy.
Yeah.
You won't get any benefit out of just...
In fact, you'll get detriment because Google discounts duplicate content. If it senses that the content is duplicated, it will discount both sources. So you'll lose all effect of that article completely. So if you write an article on your website, a blog post on your website, summarize it and make some key points and put a link to it on a status update in LinkedIn. If you write a LinkedIn article through Pulse, use that and then use that and maybe refer to that on something on your website, but don't copy the two between them. Yeah, distinct.
Does that work on all social media?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, cutting and pasting. You can't just write an article and then go right blog.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a summary on Twitter to 140 characters and then LinkedIn it and then Facebook.
So if you're ever invited to guest blog for somebody, make sure it's a unique blog. Don't copy one of your old ones unless you rewrite it. And likewise, if you invite somebody to guest blog for you, make sure that the blog they write is solely for your site, not for repurposing an existing blog, because it discounts and degrades both sites. It's really important. Join a LinkedIn group. There are loads and loads of LinkedIn groups out there. And it's important that you identify the groups where your clients live. It's where your target market hangs out. So if you're an accountant, don't join groups of other accountants. Not unless you want to keep up to date with professional news. That's great. And you can demonstrate your professional expertise in there by writing technical articles that other accountants might read. But you're never going to find a client in an accounting group. You know, clients don't go to accounting groups thinking, oh, I need an accountant, I'll have a look in this group here. They're in their own groups, their own interest groups. So, for example, if you're an accountant and you specialise in accounting services for the performing arts, for singers, songwriters, musicians, actors, that sort of thing, find some groups where they hang out and post some useful, handy tax tips in there that they're going to find useful. Be engaging with them in their language. Don't be the stuffy, suited and booted accountant because they won't engage with you. Go to their place and behave in their way, but be useful and deliver value to them, and then draw them into your world by getting them to connect with you. And then you can sell their services to them through your world. Your groups, look at the groups your clients belong to. Yeah, so if you've connected with your customers, look at who they belong to, because the chances are they'll be in groups where other similar people that could potentially be your clients are. So go in there and start putting in some useful content into there. Send a personalised birthday greeting. That's a nice idea, isn't it? LinkedIn's always telling you, like Facebook, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday. Yeah, or it's so-and-so's anniversary. Yeah, and it will even say, why don't you send them a message? And if you click yes, and it will send them, say, happy birthday. No! Don't do that. Send them a personalised message. You know, how many times have you had loads and loads of happy birthdays that all look exactly the same coming in on your Facebook account or on your LinkedIn account? You ignore most of them. The ones that have been personalised, usually from people that know you well or want to engage with you, you will read in more detail and you will engage with. I had a client that I developed a software tool using SharePoint for them. I built it when I was running my project management consultancy days. I built them this tool that managed all of their client documentation for their implementations of an HR system. They were an HR systems consultancy. So I built this platform for them, and they went off and used it, and it was great. A couple of years later, up pops the FD's birthday reminder. So I pinged her a little message saying, "Hi, so-and-so, happy birthday. Hope you're well. How's things going at XYZ company?" And because it was personalised and it was not the same, she instantly replied, "Oh, things are going great, thanks. Yeah, we're doing really well. How are you? How's your business?" And I came back, "Yeah, things are going really well." I then, and only then, said, "How's the system I built for you? How's it holding up?" And she came back and said, "Oh, yeah, it's really great. We're still using it. But Microsoft has moved on a little. The integration between Office and the version of SharePoint that we're using for that is a little bit clunky now. Got any time to come in and have a chat about an upgrade?" Ka-ching.
How deliberate was that when you chose who you were going to send that message to? Because one of the things that puts me off LinkedIn is the volume. You know,
Yeah.
everyone's trying to say, "Oh, hi, I really love you," and I haven't seen you.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I connect and engage with my target market. So she was still my target market.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that in terms of blocking out time to do this very approach, because basically it's another routine to do a follow-up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So have you actually sort of prioritised thinking, I want business from this person, and almost have yourself a list?
There are two or three different ways you can do it. I block out time in my diary to go through my social media accounts and look for prompts to be able to connect with the right people. And so I'll take those prompts and I'll engage with them when they come up. But part of my time is that I also have a dream list of clients I want to work with. Okay, and I will look to their profiles, I'll look to their social media to try and find ways of engaging with them. So it's a two-pronged attack. Some things come to me and say, "Oh, there's an opportunity here, use it." Others are, how can I engineer an opportunity?
Exactly.
Yeah?
So this is actually a very strategic move.
Absolutely. Yeah. Deliberate ploy. It should be part of your standard marketing week. Yeah.
This is new. I don't remember this level of engagement through birthdays.
Oh yeah.
Sort of like, 10 years
Well, it's because nobody did it. Nobody does it. Everybody just sort of clicks and sends the happy birthday or happy anniversary or congrats on your new job.
It's quite a new thing though, the birthday one. 'Cause when I saw it come up, I thought, oh, for God's sake, you just like trying to be like Facebook.
Yeah. But if you get it right, it can really work. Comment on somebody else's Pulse article, or comment on somebody else's status update, or anything like that, because that does two things. And when I say comment, it's not, "Oh, great article," or "nice article," "Oh, I really liked your article." Add some value. Demonstrate your knowledge and expertise in that field by adding some value to the article within your comment. Right? Because that will do two things. It will actually get you in the minds of everybody else in there. Somebody else might have written a great article. If you add something and people start reading that comment, they're actually now focused on you, not the person who wrote the article. And therefore, you've got the chance of engaging with them and taking them into your world. You are also promoting the person that you commented on their article, the person that wrote that article. You are promoting them and engaging with them. So if they're part of your target market as well, that's another great in. And their connections will see those comments as well. So it's a great way of demonstrating your expertise around the place.
I give you an absolute solid gold tip, and this has got me so much business over the years. So I'm in lots of business groups on Facebook. If somebody asks a question about SEO, growing their business, websites, I will deliberately find those questions, wait for a few answers, and then I will make sure that my answer is the longest answer they will ever see on Facebook. Like sometimes I have to break it into 2 comments because it's like 6,000-7,000 comments. Now, there's 2 things I do with that. First thing is I put it into a PDF that I can then give to people for a download. So that gives me great content for my website, and although it is kind of duplicate content, it's secondary content because it's in the PDF. So because I'm not trying to rank it, I don't care. The engagement is massive because people are going, "This is ridiculous. This is I paid for more information than for less information than this. So you immediately go, "This is a guy to watch." And the second thing is, finish it off with, and if you've got any other questions or anything like this, or if there's anyone else with this problem, just say below and I'll have a look at your website and give you some tips. The engagement is just insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you've demonstrated both your authority and your expertise in one
And
massive...
you've taken the focus away from the person that wrote the question or wrote the original article or wrote the original comment and made it focused on you because of your clear demonstration of your capability, your expertise, your authority.
And you've left nothing else to say for anyone else, really, because you've covered it all, haven't you?
Yeah,
Does it close down, or you get responses to you?
I
rather
try and
than-
leave it open so that it does encourage engagement, because otherwise you just shut down the conversation and it's like full stop, end of, nobody comes back. But if you say, does this resonate? Are other people getting this?
Keep it open.
And it keeps it open.
Keep it open. So it helps the article's author. It gets you on their radar. And whose articles should you be commenting on? Share a relevant blog. Most blogs will have all of the social media share buttons. Use them. Use the share buttons. Next the URL, whichever. But start to demonstrate that you are widely read in the field as well. Yeah, by sharing other people's content. But don't just share it. Share it with your perspective, your added sixpenneth that really demonstrates your expertise. So make sure you mention the author so that you're actually building your credibility to say, I'm not trying to steal from you or your market. I'm giving you credit to the original article and what have you. But in effect, you are stealing from them because you're demonstrating that you've got even more knowledge than they have. And you get on the radar of those that you share it with. Welcome messages to a new connection. How many people say hello to their new connections? Very few, not enough. Yes, one or two, but most people don't. So, personalise that welcome message. These days, at least LinkedIn does prompt you to add a welcome message if you connect via the desktop. If you do it if you're on your app, they're less engaging. But personalise the message and demonstrate you actually read their profile. Yeah. So play something back to them from their profile that resonates with you, and add something to the conversation. Yeah. A welcome message says, "Thanks for connecting. Look forward to engaging with you in the future." So what? Did you even read their profile? I've had people connect with me on LinkedIn and then try and sell me LinkedIn training. Have you read my LinkedIn profile? No, you haven't. Unconnect. So read their profile and show that you have. Don't launch into sales mode. Yeah. If you get LinkedIn right, people ask you for your services. You don't have to sell. They will ask you for your services. Request a recommendation from a customer. They're your best advocates. So you make it easy for them and you prep them with the call first. Don't just send them out a request. Talk to them first. Say, how about that LinkedIn recommendation that you said you'd give me? And then ask in the right way. So, hi Jim. I've really enjoyed working with you over the last 3 months, and it's great to see you make such great progress in your new role. So there, you're massaging their ego, yeah, but putting yourself front and centre. That their progress is really down to you. So you're massaging their ego. I was wondering if you'd be able to give me that recommendation we discussed on LinkedIn. So you'd already discussed it with them. You're just reminding them that they've already committed. So you're making them feel guilty because they haven't done it yet. Yeah, so you're building up this, I must go and give them this recommendation. It would be really great if you could describe. Now, these 3 questions could be different for you, but ask 3 questions. How are things before we worked together? What was it like working with me? And how working with me has changed things for you? Yeah, so the before, the current, the working experience, and the after. That's a fantastic structure of a recommendation that will show clients that have got the same problem, that there is a solution, that working with you to find the solution is fantastic, and that you really do deliver the solution. It's a really great way. Tosh? Sorry? Yes. Yeah.
And these are different to endorsements?
Yes. Endorsements or skills are pretty rubbishy, really.
Well, I find them fake.
They
I've
are.
got people who have no idea about
Yep.
endorsing.
I get endorsed. I get endorsed because people have read my lead magnet.
Yeah.
They read my lead magnet and they say, "Oh yeah, I'll endorse Alan," and they're looking for endorsements. Yeah.
And I don't give it if I don't know.
Endorsements. As a LinkedIn coach and trainer, if I didn't have any endorsements for LinkedIn coaching, it'd look a bit odd. So I have to have some. But the fact that I've got loads of LinkedIn endorsements, LinkedIn coaching and training doesn't mean I'm a good LinkedIn coach and trainer. The recommendations tell you that. Yeah. So.
When you get endorsed for things you don't want to do.
Well, yes. Well, you can actually take those off. You can control your endorsements. You can remove the rubbish. So it's important you ask in the right way. You can even be a little bit cheeky and go back to them and say, I know you're really, really busy, so here's a summary of what we talked about before, and give them the LinkedIn recommendation you'd like written for you and say, yeah, feel free to adjust or tweak. 9 times out of 10, they'll just cut, paste, put it in, and you've got the perfect recommendation. And you've written it. Never lie, never tell untruths, only replay their words, but make it easy for them, and they'll thank you for it.
You can just add a tiny amount to that. Instead of signing off with regards, sign off thanks in advance.
Yeah,
You get,
that's a really good point, actually.
It's been proven time and time.
Yeah.
Just
All you're doing, you're really just building that sort of guilt factor in them to say you've worked with them, you've made their life better. They really ought to give you something in return. Yeah, you're really playing the guilt trip, but it really, really works. It really works. It's paying it forward. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I always like to think of, instead of manipulation, what it is you're trying to get as much value for both parties out of the transaction. And if by them giving you a recommendation adds to the value you can then pay forward, they also get a good feeling that they recommended you.
Yeah.
So,
Igniting your connections. So you've got this. You're engaged now. You've started writing articles. You've started commenting on the articles of people that you've met online. But you really want to grow the connections that you've got and really focus on finding the connections that you really need. So you've done the groundwork. You really want to ignite them. That's right. You've got the right mindset now. Yeah, because you're proactive. You're interactive. You're working with them the whole time. You're online doing things. You've got that great first impression because you've got the headline, the banner, the photograph, the summary. Built engagement through great content. You now want to attract those new connections. So you can search for your target customers. You need to know who your target customer is first. So if you haven't been on a customer avatar workshop, you need to do one. Marketing month, right, okay. With free, there is limited scope now. You used to have a lot more flexibility, a lot more freedom to search, but since Microsoft bought LinkedIn, they are monetizing it a lot more. So you're limited to between 25 and 30 searches per month. And if you do a lot of those too quickly, they will actually close you down and say, you're using it commercially, you've got to actually pay for a paid profile. But you can still search by keywords, by first name, last name, things in the title. You can search your first, second, and third tier connections. So it's harder to find people than it was, but it is still possible. But once you've started to understand how search works, and you've got a great profile there, and you've got good engagement, and everything else in your profile is right, that's the time to think about taking the premium upgrade trial. They'll give you free premium for 30 days. Okay, take the trial, but you've got to be ready for it. You've got to have everything else, all your ducks in a row, everything lined up. You know how your engagement process works. You know how your conversion process works. Then take the free trial and then hammer it for 30 days. Because in 30 days, if you've got everything else right and your clients are on LinkedIn, in 30 days you will win enough new business in 30 days to demonstrate to you that LinkedIn's premium proposition is worth paying for. Because even Sales Navigator, which gives you the most flexible search capability and geo-targeting on search, is only about 55, 60 quid a month. And if you can't generate 60 quid a month out of new business from using LinkedIn properly, then doors there, because you're not doing your business right. So get yourself right and ready, then take the trial, prove it with the trial, and then you won't mind paying that on an ongoing basis. So send a connection request. Be very, very wary about connection requests. If you don't do it from a desktop, you will get your connection request going out with a bog standard. Please, can I add you? I'd like to add you to my LinkedIn professional network on LinkedIn or something like that. I can't even remember what they put on there now. So if you're on an app, on your phone or on a tablet, and you see connect, and you hit that button, it automatically sends the connection request. No chance of tailoring the message. If you're on the desktop and you're looking at people and it says, oh, people you might like to connect with, if you click the connect button there, it will send the message automatically. If you want to send a personalized message, go to their profile and click connect from their profile off a desktop, or at least off the browser on a tablet, not the app on a tablet. Otherwise, it will send the standard messages. So connect from their profile page. It, as I said, prompts you now to add a personalized note. So create a personalized note. Don't just send, I'd like to connect with you, because I think then, we can find a reason to connect. Yeah, look at their profile, highlight something in their profile that could be a good reason for you connecting with them. Yeah. So here I'm saying, hi Jane, I run several local businesses in the Guildford area and I'm always looking to connect with other local business owners to share ideas and create a local business community. I'd be delighted if you'd connect with me. Yeah. So I've seen that she's a small business owner, I run small businesses, really like to connect and share. Yeah, much more likely to get an acceptance than if it's just a bog standard, please connect with me. Yeah. It's got to show something in it for both parties. And then you'll get the connection requests coming through. Because if you send out lots and lots of connection requests, which is what the automated tools will do for you, they'll go and search profile for profiles, they'll touch those profiles and they'll send you out, they'll send out tailored, so-called tailored connection requests out for you. But because it's not really tailored, you'll start to get lots of rejections. And if people don't know this person, that's when LinkedIn suspends your profile. And if LinkedIn suspends your profile, you are stuck. You have to then go through a whole process of contacting them in Ireland and explaining to them that you're not a bad person really, and I've seen people have their profiles suspended for really innocuous stuff. So it's you don't own your profile, LinkedIn does.
Then, but equally, they're sending me that message saying increase your number of connections.
Oh yeah.
30,
Yeah.
Because you'll increase your business by 5 times.
Yes. Yeah, but so that's great. If you send out 40 connections and get those 30, great. If you send out 400 connections and get 30 and 270 or 370 don't know this person, then they'll suspend your profile. Yeah, it's the do not knows. I don't know this person. They count really, really badly against you. So are there any easy ways to connect? So we're all in the room today. Sorry? Yeah. Look, people have different views on who should I connect with. I know some people on LinkedIn will say, I will only connect with somebody I've actually physically met. Well, that sort of takes away the online networking sort of concept, in my mind. Other people say, well, I will connect with a few more people, but they've got to be really, really tightly in my niche. Now, I will connect with any small business owner that I think I can actually add some value to. So if I get a connection request in, I will go and look at their profile and I will see what they do and I will see if I believe I can add some value to them. If I believe I can, I will connect with them. If I then immediately get a spam message from them trying to sell me product, I'll unconnect. Because that does happen quite a lot. Not just on LinkedIn. I had one guy on Twitter, connected with me on Twitter. We followed each other and immediately sent me a DM saying, I create high-performing offshore sales teams. Send me your email address and I'll send you a proposal. Really? You're going to send me a proposal? You've not talked to me about what my business is, what I might need. You're going to send me a proposal just by me giving you my email address? Right. And I tried to engage with him and say, I think you're getting this wrong and you're not really understanding social selling and that sort of stuff. Not interested at all. He was just boom, 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 boom. I'm going to send out 500 of these DMs and if one of them bites, great, I've got a business. No. So there are several easy ways to connect. So particularly in this sort of scenario here where there's a group of us in the room and we might all like to connect with each other. Now, if you're one-to-one and you're with somebody and you want to connect with them and make it nice and easy, get your mobile phone out. Okay, have you all got the app on your phone? Yeah? Right, so go to the app on your phone and you'll see that's the app that I have there. And you see up in the top right-hand corner there of the search bar, there's four little squares. If you click on that, and it will bring up your camera. And on the left hand side, it will come up in scan mode, but if you next to scan and get my code, it will bring up your QR code for your LinkedIn profile. So if the person next to you, right, so on your LinkedIn screen, on your app screen, the core screen, the little box there, just touch on that, and it'll bring up, and it'll probably bring it up in scan mode like that. So it'll come up like that, yeah? Yeah, and if you touch next to that where it says code, it'll bring up your QR code. Yeah, and what you do is you use the scan mode to zap somebody else's QR code, and then you automatically connect or send a connection request. Now, because you're face-to-face, just sending an automatic connection request like that is acceptable because they know they're going to receive it and they're going to accept it. You don't need to be worried about sending a personalised message. Yeah? Yeah? So it's a really... Turn it round.
I've got it on Android. Is that different?
Shouldn't be any different. Should work on both Android or iPhone. Yeah? Yeah, that's your QR code.
It's not coming up here at all.
Not coming up at all. You're on... No, you're in, that's not the app, you're on the Safari on your iPhone. You need to be in the app. It only works with the app, either the Android or the iPhone app. Yeah?
Then you just press connect, yeah?
Okay, so that's the easy way to connect. That's the easy way to connect one-to-one if you meet somebody. Yeah? Right, now, there's another way. There is another way, okay? Right? So, this is fun. Yeah, it is fun. It gets people engaged and interacting. Yeah? Right, now the other way is if you're at a networking event, right? If you're at a networking event and the host has actually been sensible enough to tell people about it, if you're at a networking event and the host has told everybody else, or you can do it anyway just to see if anybody else is switched on, but if sensible, the host will tell you about it. Go to your connections. So on the bottom of the app where you've got the little people button, go to the people, yeah? And in the middle there, you will see find nearby is off. If you click on that, right, so it's you've gone to people, on the app, and then you find nearby, which is switched off at the moment, click it, it will switch it on, and I can see that Gareth's here. Yep. Who else?
So show me again where you got
Right.
to that point. Where was that?
You're clicking on the people bit, yeah, the people screen, your connection screen on the app, right, and then back to the top of that, find nearby, okay? Hey, I've got Fiona, I've got Terry, I've got Sheila, I've got Claire, I've got Sumi. Right, so they're all there, and now you can, because they're there, you can actually now just click connect with them. Okay, it sends a standard message, but if they're switched on and everybody's been told about it at the networking event, it's a great way of finding people you might want to connect with to find, if you're at an expo, for example, and everyone's using this, and there's somebody there you think, I really want to meet them, look at their profile, yeah, I really want to meet them, send them the connection request. If they're doing it as well because the organisers told everybody to do it, they're going to see you come through and say, oh, they must be nearby. Yeah, okay, and then you can hook up and agree to go over to the coffee machine or the coffee stand and have a cup of coffee together. This has only been going for about 6-9 months, I think. Yeah, so this is all relatively new. Yeah. So it's two great quick ways to connect with people. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's searching, it's found people that I'm connected with, but not other people.
It's not finding others. No, that could be down to your settings. If your privacy settings are too tight, you might not be able to see other people.
It's still working.
It might still be working as well. We're putting a strain on the board and hub Wi-Fi or the signal Wi-Fi here.
You need location services switched on, or
Yeah.
maybe Bluetooth as
Bluetooth has to be on. Bluetooth has to be switched on. Otherwise it won't work. Yeah?
That's the only thing.
So that's easy ways to connect. And of course, you should connect with me. So I've got about 2,500, I've got about 2,500 connections in a variety of businesses and industries. So I might be able to help you and put you in touch with the person you need to connect with to get your next client. Thank you very much. We are going to do Q&A after the break.
Q&A,
So we've got workbooks, Q&A, and there'll be a